I always start is income greater than expenses. If that's not working, it's worth the sacrifice to get that in place, right? Because if you're spending more than you're making, you're digging a hole. And every month it continues, that hole is getting deeper, right? And again, I get that it can be overwhelming, but making those sacrifices, making that effort to really control your expenses and get your income to a place where at least is equal and hopefully that your income is a little bit higher. So that's where I'd start with everybody, make sure that's in place. The second thing I would say is plan ahead, right? I talked briefly about the taking care of your present self versus your future self, making sure you're planning ahead, setting aside a little bit for that emergency fund, not neglecting that future you, right? You don't want future you to be mad at you, right? At past you. So planning ahead and just taking the time to think about this. Don't let the current situation, and I get how difficult it can be to think even to tomorrow sometimes. Taking those moments, set aside an hour, once a month and just start thinking about it. And the third thing I would say is make sure you build in fun. I actually, in my personal budget, I have what I call my fun fund. And every month, a little bit of money goes into my fun fund. So if one day I'm like, oh, I really want that new pair of shoes, but it doesn't fit into my monthly budget. Great. I can pull that out, right? Or I want to go on this little trip. I have a little bit set aside because especially as caregivers, you have to make sure that you're taking care of yourself as well, right? So much of what you do is focused on those around you. I'm sure you're all very aware, like burnout is a very real thing. And I think building in that fun and making sure that you are taking the intentional chance to treat yourself to something every once in a while, building in fun, I think is a very important piece of any financial plan.